prior to May 1993, numbers were assigned to the different long-distance companies based on the first 3 digits of the number. So if I wanted 1-800-the-something, that the was owned by, let's say, MCI. So I was very much restricted who I would get my 800 service from. And at&t had a majority of those prefixes. So basically in May 1993, the world changed, where all of a sudden I could keep my 800 number and switch it from company to company as often as I wanted to.
The 800 service business is an industry worth several $billion. So if we're talking about a 5 or 10% share loss, we're talking about a loss of hundreds of millions of dollars. From those focus groups, we did idea generation, particularly at the advertising agency. And those were ideas not just for at&t, but what were ideas that our competitors could be using. So quite a few brainstorming sessions.
Everybody in this room has got to start thinking that we're no longer the advertising agency for at&t, we are now the advertising agency for MCI. If we could know what our competitors might do, we would know how to best defend and win in that market. We achieved that by role-playing. We became the MCI agency and really tried to take on the project as if we were MCI. Percentages. If people today think that at&t is the most reliable, what the research helped us to do was identify the pool of messages that we would have to have regardless of which way the market fight went. If you have the commercial shot and it's ready to go, you flip the switch and within a day or two you can change and shift the messages that are on the air.
We're here in Boston, one of the 78 cities where we're conducting some of the strategic concept research. We normally don't go to 78 cities, but we needed to reach large, medium, and small businesses and do it quickly. Altogether, we'll be talking to over 3,200 business executives, certainly the largest research project that I've ever been involved with.
How much do you agree or disagree that you feel committed to using at&t 800 services?
The idea was to meet with business executives, present some ideas that both we might be advertising and also that our competitors might be advertising, and get a sense of who should be doing what and what was our strongest message in the market. The purpose of the study was really to give us better direction before someone sat down and ever tried to conceive of the first advertising commercials.
Agree completely. I believe that there can't be a good advertising campaign unless there's strong marketing research leading into it. The marketing research fundamentally tells you what the market is right now. It tells you what customers need. We wanted to anticipate what our key competitors would do and preempt what they did in the market. To ask you some questions about Sprint.
What I want you to do is change your mindset again. Now I'd like you to go back to your real jobs, okay? Now start to think about how might we counter that. And the whole idea was to surround customers with 15-second commercials where we were able to really flood the airwaves with 800 different reasons why at&t was the best.
Sales you'd lose because they're not as reliable.
How do we proactively protect you?
What we're going to do for you if there ever is an outage and how we're going to reroute your calls.
Imagine this is your phone line. If a network cable cut blocks your calls, at&t's FastStar reroutes them in minutes so your calls get through and your business stays on track. One more reason at&t is the best in the business.
If they're offering our customers a month free or 2 months free, what things can we offer in the promotional area? Once we took it to them and once we took the reliability angle away from them, we know that all they have to fall back on is price savings. So that was the final base that we had covered and waited and watched until they reverted back to price, and that's when you saw advertising that said, by trying to save pennies, you can end up losing sales.
Trying to save pennies per call with another 800 service, a package delivery company can lose 17,000 calls a month. At $12 a call, they could lose a bundle. One of the 800 reasons to choose at&t 800 service, the best in the business.
What I want you to do is change your mindset again. Now I'd like you to go back to your real jobs, okay? Now start to think about how might we counter that. And the whole idea was to surround customers with 15-second commercials where we were able to really flood the airwaves with 800 different reasons why at&t was the best.
One of the 800 reasons to choose at&t 800 service, the best in the business.
storm warning, one of the worst snowstorms to hit Richmond in years. It happened to be the first week.
During this period of time, a lot of new advertising was produced, both by AT&T and by our major competitors. And frankly, we needed to find a more efficient way to test that advertising. What we had used before was thorough, but it was expensive and it was slow. So AT&T and our advertising agency, McCann Erickson, invented a new system that allowed us to talk to business executives in their office, show them 8 or 10 commercials, and find out, is it believable? Was it clear? We learned a lot of things. We learned that reliability was the strongest message for AT&T. And many of the commercials, particularly the ones that used actual customers talking about how they used 800 service, was particularly effective.
at&t 800 service, because every call is a customer.
The research has to be able to cover the fact that what will work.
Right.
We were amazingly pleased at how well we were able to predict what the industry was going to do. When we anticipated what some of our key competitors would produce, we then said, here's what our response is going to be. Everything we did was based on the ongoing concept and advertising research we were conducting.
Feature that they couldn't get from MCI.
The best thing we could do is just keep talking about reliability, and keep upping the ante that AT&T's 800 service was far more reliable than MCI's.
Could we raise the bar on the satisfaction guarantee to a superiority guarantee?
If we raise the bar, if we throw something into the marketplace that all of a sudden changes your perception of what superiority is all about.
Can't be something they can match. So it's got to have something to do with our technical superiority.
So what's the ultimate that goes beyond that?
You've said this before, Eric, I know. If we could promise them that they'll never miss a call, that would be the ultimate.
What could a minute cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're a player on Wall Street, $910,000. But with us, you're always in the game. Introducing the at&t 800 service Never Miss a Call Guarantee. Now if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call Guarantee. It's the #1 reason at&t 800 service is always the smartest play. at&t, the best in the business. Guaranteed.
There's a lot of people. I guess I'd have to characterize what we did as almost playing the chess game before the chess game started. The whole mindset going in was that we were going to have to defend our customers. And the whole mindset coming out was this was a great opportunity to win. And by taking that attitude in the marketplace, I think that's what ended up with the victory that we got.
Research is very important to advertising because we spend so much money on advertising that we have to make sure that what we put on the air is right.
Without research, we would be hip shooting. And when you're dealing with a $50 billion business, you can't afford to hip shoot.
You can't depend on someone being brilliant.
I am fascinated by research because my success in my business depends on my ability to understand my consumers, and that's what research is all about.